Purchase your dream 3-bedroom home today at Mamuda for less than $3 million, only from Redland Capital. Welcome to a special edition of the Constitution We Want show, brought to you by Gynaco Online News. I'm your host, Yusuf Taylor. Today's show focuses on the Constitution building process, and in this episode we'll be highlighting where the Gambia currently finds itself in the Constitution building process, the main actors, and how I think Gambians can participate in the process. This is the 2020 Draft Constitution published by the Gambia CRC at the end of March 2020. This is the Gazetted Bill, the new Constitution Gazetted Bill, published in the Gazette on 28 May 2020 by the Ministry of Justice. And this is the 1997 Constitution, which is currently in effect. We will be making reference to these documents throughout this video. The process is divided into two parts. You have the pre-Gazette of the draft constitution and post-Gazette stage of the draft constitution. We start off with the pre-Gazette stage period. The constitution building process formally commenced when the Constitutional Review Commission Act was passed in 2018 January. 5 months later, 11 commissioners of the Constitutional Review Commission, CRC, were sworn in on June 2018 by President Adama Barrow. The CRC issues document was then issued on October 2018, and this allowed citizens to send in submissions to the CRC. On July 2019, the CRC's first public consultation was brought to a halt. The first draft constitution was then published on November 2019. This prompted a second public consultation, which then ended on 31st December 2019, the last day of 2019. The final draft constitution from the CRC was then presented to President Adama Barrow and published online at the end of March 2020. This was done amidst the coronavirus pandemic. Finally, the draft constitution from the CRC was then gazetted on 28 May 2020 in accordance with provision 226 of the 1997 Constitution. And this is where we currently find ourselves. Less than 1 month after the Constitution Bill, the new Constitution Bill, has been gazetted by the Gambia Printing Press Corporation. The next constitution building processes we will be going through are all in the post-Gazette stage. According to provision 226, subsection 2A of the 1997 Constitution, the new Constitution Bill is to be gazetted twice, 3 months apart, meaning that the second Gazette can be published by the end of August 2020. After this, the first reading of the new Constitution Bill can then be held at the National Assembly 10 days after the publication of the second Gazette. This should take us into September 2020. Provision 226, subsection 4B of the 1997 Constitution further demands that a second and third reading shall be held at the National Assembly, and this reading must be supported by 3/4 of all National Assembly members for the new Constitution Bill to proceed to the next stage. An important point to note is that there is no time frame stipulated in the Constitution, the current Constitution, the 1997 Constitution, for the National Assembly to approve the new Constitution Bill. If the bill is supported by 3/4 of all National Assembly members, then the Speaker of the House shall refer the new Constitution Bill to the Independent Electoral Commission for a referendum. Provision 226 subsection 4C of the 1997 Constitution further demands that the referendum shall be held within 6 months after the Speaker notifies the Independent Electoral Commission. For the new Constitution Bill to pass the referendum, at least half of all registered voters must participate. and 75% of voters in the referendum must vote in favor of the new constitution. After a successful referendum, Provision 226 subsection 6 demands that the President shall assent to the bill within 7 days. Then this will finally usher the Third Republic of the Gambia and conclude the constitution building process. The first constitution came into effect in 1970, and the second constitution, which is currently in effect, was assented to in 1997. Now, how can you Gambians participate in this process? As highlighted earlier, Gambians had 2 opportunities to engage the CRC during their public consultations. 2 public consultations resulted to this. This means that the opportunities to engage in the process is now limited. However, some have argued that the National Assembly members can be engaged to take note of highly critical provisions in the new constitution bill. On the other hand, some have argued that the National Assembly should not amend the new constitution bill because they have been consulted by the CRC. Now, our next episode will compare the 2020 draft constitution published by the CRC and the new constitution bill published in the Gazette. Thank you very much for watching. Please share and stay tuned. We'll be bringing you more Constitution We Want shows. I'm your host, Yusuf Taylor. Purchase your dream 3-bedroom home today at Mamuda for less than $3 million, only from Redland Capital.